Hey everybody, for now at least probably the last arcade video, but there's good news, there's also some bad news. The good news is you can now try this, there is a link in the description, you can download it from Overtake, but there is a readme file included which you will have to read. I understand this is a troubling thought, but give it a try, and it of course requires Automobilista 1. Very limited demo, just this car, physics to drive, no wear, no AI. Very little actually, just drive it around on a few tracks, see if you like it. And of course, again, read that included PDF file. You won't, but I tell you to anyway. Thanks to Wheels, he made the Grand Prix Evolution mod for Automobilista and also probably for R-Factor 1 for permission and also for some tips on the collision stuff. So the car rides the walls a bit better, it's a bit more forgiving. There are soft, medium and hard tires, but the good news ends a little bit. I did expect this because I was tweaking this car and I couldn't really get it to a better place. It's a little better, it takes hairpins better, but I just don't know yet what to do with the strange physics parameters to get the handling that I want. If I want more of this, I need to do that. I just don't really know what to do to get the handling to the point where I want it to be. So it became a little bit frustrating, which I expected because working with physics is optimism and enthusiasm followed by depression. That's always how it goes. It's a very normal way of this hobby. So I did expect it to become difficult and I'm at that point where I'm not quite sure what to do. So my best advice to myself is to just leave it for a little bit, pick it up in a couple weeks, and I may have or may not have a new idea. I also tried a rally car, and that was interesting. It was fun-ish, but of course it's a slower vehicle. And I think the speed of the vehicle is very important to the enjoyment and this sensation of, wow, I'm controlling something amazing. And this Formula 1-ish car going really fast kind of has that vibe of going real fast. And the rally car responding a bit more sluggishly, driving slower, felt just quite boring. Maybe also because I used a real 3D model for it, like a proper Mini, and I sort of was expecting simulator or simcade maybe. So I've kept this retro-ish, Formula-ish model. And yeah, it was surprising how much the speed of the vehicle is important. And of course, in many arcade games, in Daytona and stuff, the sense of speed is a huge factor. And I think that having realistic vehicle speeds for the slower cars, like rally cars, is bound to end up maybe a bit boring. That was interesting to see. I'm currently on the hard tires. There's a huge difference in grip. So the hard tires are really quite more slidey. And you have to get used to that a little bit. At Monaco, which we couldn't do before. So it takes hairpins a lot better. And I've not really done this. It's a bit more floaty with the hard tires. So you can try that out. You can also change the balance of the car by putting the hard tires on the rear, for example, and the soft on the front. Will make it really oversteery. So it does take the hairpin. Oh, and I forget which gear I'm in. It rides the walls better. So it's not that punishing if you hit them slightly. A bit careful because I haven't driven these hard tires very much. But that's kind of a key, isn't it? If you're given something new, a new car, new tires, just like in a sim in a way, you start careful and that should be alright. If you leave a bit of margin. So I'm not brilliant, but I'm driving and sliding the car around, so that's probably a good test. I've had this car be tested by a few people, to be precise, and they quite liked it. It's the previous version that you saw the videos of. So I think there is some evidence that I'm not the only one that might enjoy this. Oh, brilliant! I think that's just quite cool. It makes you look like a hero and then you've completely missed the next apex. So these are the hard tires, quite slidey. Good fun. A bit less stable on a straight line as well. But yeah, it's still quite manageable. This is just my third lap or so with them. Oh! See, tapped the wall a little bit, but that didn't hurt me too much. That hurt me a bit. It definitely turns in nicely off throttle and on the brakes, but on power it's sort of a bit four-wheel slidey, a bit understeery. One of those things I couldn't really change. Because every time I wanted to make it more power oversteery, it would also lose straight line stability. And I know why that is, but I don't... Oh, yeah, that's the sort of the ping pong effect. For an arcade game, I don't know how I would do it, but of course you don't want to encourage wall riding too much, but you also don't want it to be too punishing. Oh! Pretty good, pretty good. So that's the lap on the hard tires, very low grip, slidey, a bit twitchier. Let's switch to the soft. So it's kind of interesting, now I'm just switching to this super high grip tire. How long does it take to get used to? Well, I'm not crashing, so it's not like totally relearning something. I can still react and adjust, and you can see that was pretty good already. Much tighter. Oh, scary. Really scary. So I mentioned how the track design should be an integral part of an arcade game. And of course Monaco with its walls is really difficult. And once you start ping-ponging off the walls, it would need some sort of an adjusted collision system where... Oh, that's late. Maybe where the walls are a bit more damped, that you don't do a ping-pong. Bit of lift off oversteer there, nice. A bit too much. If you time it better, it's a nice entry. Timing? Yeah, well. So on a really difficult track, I still think it's quite easy to drive. That's not really esports level lines. Oh, that's neutral, that's bad. Just switch to keyboard. So yeah, I feel it's a good test if you switch input methods from a pad to a keyboard. Do you need like 10 minutes to get used to it, or is your second lap decent already? And well, you see it's pretty decent already. Kind of similar in pace, I think, to using the controller. Sometimes a little twitchy on the straight where you give it a little tap, and sometimes the tap moves the car a bit more than other times. But this is hardcore, very difficult track, of course. At Imola we have the safety of big curves that sure you bounce over them and there's grass and you slide over it a little bit. But this is a more punishing track. So this is just a lap with keyboard. Tapping it. And yeah, third lap now and it feels pretty intuitive. So soft, medium, hard tires you can try. Read the PDF file with instructions. Of course you can tweak the settings to your own desire. So like I said, I'm sort of done with it for a little bit. Maybe I'll wake up with some new ideas to improve it in the future. I do have some actual work to do over the next weeks, and this has been consuming a few evenings now, so time for you to have a go if you want. And that's about it for now, I think. Hope you like that. See you later. Bye bye.